Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Cabral.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We're here today with our second Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We'll be answering more of our community's questions on all things wellness, weight loss, anti-aging, and just like yesterday, I'm sure there'll be some great questions. Just remember that not every question may apply to you exactly, or maybe even someone that you know right now currently dealing with this type of dis-ease in their body. But the good news is that as you start to listen to more and more of these questions and answers, you'll start to piece together how health at a holistic level always comes back to a couple different things. And that is understanding that everything has a root cause, whether it be stress or gut related or sleep issues or heavy metals or so many other different things, mold, etc. But the good news is that everything has a root cause. We can find those root cause, those imbalances through at-home functional medicine lab testing. And then there are protocols in order to be able to rebalance the body. So that's the good news really about the day and age that we live in, is that we're able to make all of these things happen as long as we do understand that there's always a set of circumstances that has allowed us to get to where we are in a good way, and then also sometimes in a negative way. So my job is to help you piece that together on these weekend host calls, and that is exactly what we are going to do here today. So this first question coming in today, and we do answer about a half a dozen questions every Saturday and another half dozen every Sunday. This first question is coming in from Simon. So Simon says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. What do you think about the hype surrounding apple cider vinegar and especially taking it before or during a meal to aid in digestion? Is this a good thing to do daily? I would assume with the largest or highest protein meal. Which people and meals would this be the most beneficial for?" Okay, so this is a great question. I'm pulling up my phone right now because I actually chatted about this on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, you head on over to my account, which is Stephen Cabral. You'll see the 5 benefits of apple cider vinegar. And this was a whiteboard series. So that was on September 8th. So you can definitely, if you're watching this on video, you can definitely see it right there. And I would recommend checking that out. So I give you the 5 big benefits there, but we're going to talk about it today in terms of digestion. Now, whenever you take something in a little bit acidic, which apple cider vinegar is, a lot of people believe that it's alkaline. You have to understand is that it's very acidic, but it has a lot of minerals in it. So the minerals become alkaline as they start to be absorbed into the body, just like a lemon would be, right? A lemon's very acidic, but when it gets absorbed into your body, well, then it's alkaline because of all that potassium. So I don't want to get too deep in acid and alkaline today because it throws off the conversation and people start to go in their own directions on that. But what I can tell you is this: it can act as a great digestive. So what you would typically do is you would have some apple cider vinegar mid-meal, and it will help stimulate potentially some stomach acid, but also create what's called heat in the stomach. So in Ayurveda, they always said bring heat to the stomach during digestion. So it can be great for people with more of a kapha, mucus, cold-based digestion because it will heat the stomach. The only people that it wouldn't really be that great for are people with histamine issues or anybody with candida overgrowth or potentially bacterial overgrowth, since it is a fermented product. That you would want to be careful with that one because it could feed that candida or bacteria. The other reason why it's really helpful for a lot of people and why we use it as part of our Fatlocity system, if you watch the Fatlocity course with that, is that it can help with what's called postprandial blood glucose levels. That means after a meal, apple cider vinegar, so if you take it, you can take it with a meal, but you can take it after a meal, and it should actually help not to allow blood sugar to spike as high. So some great benefits with it. Again, it's not a must-have, but certainly it could be a good product to add if you would like as a digestive-based aid. Okay. Doesn't take the place of daily digestive enzymes, could take the place of betaine HCl. if that gives you some good heat in the stomach. All right. Javan is up next. Can any over-the-counter pills help husband with low sperm count or mobility? All right. So looking to improve overall sperm count. So the best thing that you can do to improve overall sperm count is there's three main things. All right. So let's break this down just a bit. You want to make sure that there's not a lot of inflammation right now in the diet. So you definitely want to be on an anti-inflammatory based diet plan. That's super crucial. All the podcasts that I talk about in terms of nutrition are always anti-inflammatory, right? Our, typical Equal Life Detox is going to be anti-inflammatory. The overall Mediterranean diet that I typically recommend, those types of things are all anti-inflammatory. Omega-3s help balance healthy levels of inflammation. So all that's great, right? But zinc and vitamin C are going to be crucial for healthy sperm count as well. So I could give you a lot more recommendations. Again, a DHEA product for a certain period of time could be helpful, but really you want to make sure that you're getting in the foundations right there. So again, I'm hesitant. I could give you a lot more recommendations. I would say start with a good detox. Start with, as they say, switching from like briefs to boxers, right? So that you are, and don't do as much bike riding. Believe it or not, that can actually help. And just because of the pressure on the testes. And I would really recommend, again, that like I said, the zinc and vitamin C is at least a good place to start with an anti-inflammatory diet plan. And if whenever possible, run the Big Five just so you can see what else is going on that might be creating inflammation. All right, Maggie's up next. Is smoking weed bad for your immune system? It helps me to de-stress after work and turn my brain off of work mode, and I've noticed that it helps me fall asleep, but I worry that it's disrupting the quality of sleep I'm getting. I currently smoke every day and have read some contradicting things about it being great for you or suppressing your immune system. Okay, yeah, happy to answer this. So there's two parts to this as well. The first one is that smoking anything is bad for your health. That means breathing smoke into your lungs in any capacity is bad for your health. Okay, it is a immunosuppressant. It is a carcinogenic-based product. I don't care if it's candle smoke, incense smoke, any smoke that you breathe in is toxic to the lungs. Now, there are a couple of exceptions, like using an herb called mullein and using it with some Native American-based herbs and things like that to breathe it in almost like a huff. You would do that, though not every day. You would do that actually to help with some mucus buildup in the lungs, but I don't want to get too deep into that. So what I would say is you don't want to breathe smoke in general. But let's just say, okay, you don't need to smoke marijuana. You could instead take an edible. You could take liquid THC. You can do whatever you'd like in terms of getting cannabis into your system. So the thing though is that with chronic use, at least, it does seem to be immunosuppressant or have immunosuppressive based qualities. And this is actually seen to be somewhat beneficial in certain people with autoimmune issues if they're not finding out the root cause, because a lot of the autoimmune issues, it's actually suppressing that part of their immune system, which is really interesting to look at that. But in general, it is, I would say, it's erring on the side, at least what I've seen from the research, to be an immunosuppressant. I wouldn't recommend using it daily. Every once in a while, I have no issue with it. CBD, I'm more apt to recommend than THC a lot of the time. I think you get a lot of benefit from the CBD. And what else could I share with you on this? That I would also look into other things that are not cannabis-based. Like, why not look into a product called Adrenal Soothe, which has phosphatidylserine, it has ashwagandha, L-theanine, a lot of calming-based herbs and amino acids. Or look into full spectrum magnesium, really calming as well. And then even something like the Sleep Help Protocol. So all of these products you can find over at stevencabral.com/equalife. That's always where I'm sending people. So you could do that. And hopefully that answers your question. Good question. Penelope's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm writing on behalf of my mom. She's in her 70s and she has arthritis and is constantly in a lot of body pain. She does get relief from acupuncture that was advised by her doctor if she goes once a week. However, this isn't always possible and sometimes goes a few weeks without, recently longer. So I was wondering if there is anything else she can do at home that is long lasting to relieve the pain. Thank you for all that you do. Okay. Happy to help and thank you for the note there. So your mom's in her 70s and she has arthritis, a lot of body pain. I'm assuming that this is osteoarthritis and not rheumatoid arthritis. Osteoarthritis is essentially degeneration of the bones, usually like the anticular cartilage around the bone itself. That can be a big issue with arthritis. There's also rheumatoid arthritis, which is more of an autoimmune issue, and that typically affects the smaller joints, first in the fingers, and then elbows, and so on. So what I would say is this, though. This is super important. You're always going to have less pain when your body's less inflamed. So a lot of people say, well, inflammation is, the cause, 90% of the cause for all disease. And I would say, well, that's partially true. It's implicated, I would say, with 90% of all disease, which is inflammation. However, it's not the root cause. So if you want to just alleviate inflammation, you would use some type of anti-inflammatory herbal-based product. But really what you want to do is just say, why is the body inflamed in the first place? So your mom's in her 70s. I would definitely recommend running the Big 5. If not, I would at least run the starter kit for sure. You can find that at stephencabral.com/starter-kit. That's something I would definitely do. If not, like the Big 5, like I said, that's stephencabral.com/Big 5. And I would, without a doubt, she could do the 21-day Equal Life Detox. That's at stephencabral.com/detox. And what she would do there is she doesn't even have to do the 2 first fasting days if she doesn't think she's up for it. She could follow the days 3 through 7 meal plan and just do that the entire time. She'd probably find she gets a lot of benefit from that as well. And then continue on with more like the daily foundational protocol, using those great omega-3s, the daily omega-3 support, and the daily nutritional support. So that's where I would start before looking for the root causes. All right. Chelsea's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Question from down in Australia. I got an Oura Ring after hearing some of your podcasts on REM sleep, and I'm loving it. I'm noticing that I'm getting 2 to 3.5 hours of deep sleep, but not much REM sleep. 45 minutes to an hour is usually between 5 and 7. Is that normal? I have good sleep hygiene, but my Oura Ring is telling me my REM is low. Is it okay to have REM lower if your deep sleep is higher? Based on my charts, I'm getting lots of good deep sleep from 10 to 1. If I've tried all the pointers in your podcast about REM sleep, but I'm not seeing improvement, is it possible I just get less REM sleep than most? Thanks for all that you do to share helpful information on holistic health. I learn from you every day and share your work often. Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate that. So, the amazing thing is that you're getting 2 to 3.5 hours of deep sleep. That's a lot of deep sleep. I mean, typically, I'm working with, private wellness clients and all the team that I oversee and help to oversee over at Equal Life. I'd like 90 minutes or more, an hour and a half or more of deep sleep. I mean, if you can get 2 to 3.5 hours of deep sleep, I mean, that's phenomenal. And you're right, deep sleep is really closer to the first half of the night. And it's going to be somewhere between like 10 and 2. And so you're in the right hours for that, which is great. But it looks like you're having difficulty getting the 2 hours that you should be getting of REM sleep. And they are different. So I'm going to do a podcast most likely on this. I'm definitely going to do a podcast on specifically why you want REM sleep to be as least as much as deep sleep. Well, at least the 2 hours. And that's basically for, the filing system in your brain from taking all the events of the day and putting them in the right specific order. So I would watch for fluctuations in blood sugar. If you're not getting enough REM sleep, I would look for your body an increase in heart rate in the later part of the morning. I would look for adrenal-based issues. So I would run the hormones test. That's at stephencabral.com/hormones-test. That's the one that I would run to look at cortisol and thyroid in the morning. There could be a cortisol thyroid issue in the morning. What else would I do? I would also look at temperature, making sure that your body is cool enough that part of the morning where you're waking up from like 4 to 7 a.m. Okay, so I would look at that as well. And then I would see if it fluctuates on the days that you exercise versus not exercise, and if you get better REM sleep on the days that you exercise. So there's a few things that would correlate. The timing of the evening meal, is that too late at night, or is it at just the right time, or is it too early, right? So I would look at all these different things and see on which night you get the best REM sleep and see if we can continue to duplicate that. All right, great question. I've got mine on right here. All right, the last question today is from Alyssa. Alyssa says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I was hoping to get some further clarification on my HTMA lab. I went over it with my health coach during the Big 5 labs, and I didn't fully understand the explanation as to why I am dumping large amounts into my hair. My calcium was 271 and my magnesium was 44. My sodium was 356 and my potassium was 5. I also tested high in aluminum. I'm 36, controlled rheumatoid arthritis due to your protocols. Thank you. Live a healthy lifestyle, eat well and exercise. I started getting debilitating migraines in February. After my second, I don't want to say that word, so the podcast doesn't get banned. We'll just say Jax. And histamine reactions to a lot of foods. Because of this, I had to quit working full-time as a RN in May. Otherwise, I'd say I'm pretty healthy and feeling better since running your labs and putting in work on protocols. Do you mind further explaining why I'd be dumping such large volumes of certain minerals into my hair? Thank you." Okay. So the minerals you named are your electrolytes. So one of the issues when people have what's called a 4 high or 3 high on a hair tissue mineral analysis, we call it our minerals and metals test. I don't actually know I don't know the exact link for that one. But that's part of our starter kit as well. It's a great lab to run. It's absolutely amazing. It's the very first lab I ran when I was getting well way back in the day. So anyway, when you see a 4 high or 3 high on that for electrolytes, it means high levels of stress. So your body. So this test, if you do an 1.5 inch snip of hair, is going back about 90 days. Every 1/2 inch of hair is about 30 days. That's how long it takes for the hair to grow about 1/2 inch. So we're looking at a higher level of stress over that 30 to 60 to 90 days. And that stress could be, again, from work. It could be from gut-based stress, pain stress, any type of stress. That would be it. And the aluminum means that you're exposed to aluminum somewhere in the environment over the last 30, 60, 90 days. And that could be aluminum pans, antiperspirants, anything contained in that object that you got, anything like that could show up for higher aluminum. The good news is we see this all the time and we're able to help with this. And that's calming the central nervous system as well as doing a heavy metal detox, which is different than functional medicine detox. Heavy metal detox you can find over at Equalife as well. Just head on over to stevencabral.com/Equalife and you'll be able to find that heavy metal detox as well as that minerals and metals test as well. So hopefully that was helpful. And we're also doing case studies on the Cabral concept. So like every other Thursday, I've been doing a case study. People said that they've been enjoying them, so I'm really happy to hear that. We always attach the lab for you to kind of follow along with. And I think that overall, this is allowing people to understand more about their overall health. And of course, knowledge is power. And that's what we want you to have in terms of taking control of your body and health. So thank you so much for tuning into today's Cabral House Call, our last one of the weekend. I hope you've been enjoying your weekend. I will be back tomorrow with another Mindset and Motivation Monday. Stay tuned, everyone, and take care. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. And before you go, hopefully you heard the intro, but if you didn't, we are reserving 500 immunity protocols for our community. That includes our private Facebook group over at cabralsupportgroup.com and our podcast listeners. 500 immunity protocols. They're all valued at $80. Yours completely free on all qualifying orders over at Equalife right now. That means you're going to get your alkalizing vitamin C, 2.5 grams per serving alkalized, which means that's going to be easy on the stomach. You can also get your vitamin D, or you will be getting your vitamin D and your balanced zinc. This is going to allow you to boost your immune system, keep your body healthy and strong this fall and this winter, which is what it's all about. Boost your immune system naturally, keep your body strong, keep your body healthy, follow a good nutrition plan, Use your supplements as a safeguard. This is exactly what I do every single day and what I use in my practice. So right now we've reserved 500 of these free immunity protocols with all qualifying orders over at Equilife. And yes, it does ship internationally. Head on over to StephenCabral.com/Equilife. That's EQUILIFE. StephenCabral.com/Equilife for this special offer while supplies last.